Have you ever thought about making your own A7 cash envelopes? These are matte finish with vinyl on top, and they hold the cash and look like this once they're made. They truly are beautiful. Some of the most beautiful cash envelopes I've ever made. And today I thought I'd show you guys because I'm forever getting the question as to where I got my wallet from, as well as where I get my envelopes from. So let's go ahead and dive off into this video. It will be a tutorial on how to make matte cash envelopes with vinyl on top, as well as I'll be talking about my wallet. If that sounds like something that interests you, let's get right into the video. Get started. Let's talk about the wallet itself. I have a Croc wallet that was gifted to me. However, these Moterm wallets are sold on Amazon. It's called a Moterm Luxe wallet, and it has rings inside, okay? These are A7 rings. Mine are gold, and I have the Croc design. This is the brand, Moterm, that you would search, but I will put a link down below in the description to a similar Moterm Luxe wallet like this that will fit these envelopes that we'll be creating today. However, it will be with the pebble finish. I haven't been able to find the finish that's like this Croc finish. Somebody gifted me theirs, but I will link down below in the description the pebble finish, and you can look for that. And it comes in so many different colors. This is a high quality wallet. It does have a pocket in the back where I keep my 1s and 5s challenge, and it has card slots. The zipper where I keep all of my coins. It has a pen holder here, which I used when I was tracking my expenses and, doing budgeting electronically. It really is a beautifully made wallet. I've had it for over a year. It's held up, stood the test of time, and I use this wallet every single day. But let's move on to the actual cash envelopes because that's what this tutorial is about today. I'm going to be teaching you how I made the matte A7 envelopes with the vinyl on top. Also, you can make these for yourself, or you could even make these to sell. I don't know anyone that's selling these right now, but they are absolutely beautiful. I love them, okay? They're rather time consuming, I feel like, to sell, but you know what? I've seen people do more time consuming things, so there's that part. You decide if it's something you want to do, but I'll give you the step-by-step tutorial on how I made mine. I have one more to make for myself, which is called Weekend Fun, and I thought, why not show you guys as I'm doing that? All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so if you haven't been here before, we're going to go step by step with everything that needs to be done in order to create these envelopes, and they're not very hard. They do have a few supplies, but they're not hard to make. The first thing we're going to do is review all the supplies that you'll need in order to make them. Next, we'll head over to Cricut Design Space, and we'll actually design the label, and I'll show you some tips and tricks about that. Finally, we'll cut the vinyl on the Cricut machine, and then we'll assemble everything together. I think that's everything. So let's get started. Since these are laminate envelopes, you will need a laminator. I like this Scotch laminator. It's my favorite one. I'm going to have every single item that we're using in this tutorial linked down in the description. So the laminator will be there. This one's really affordable. It's sold on Amazon and it works the best. It doesn't cut off and it gets really super hot, which I love that for making envelopes. I turned it on and I set it to 5 mil because that's what we're going to be laminating with today. Next, we'll talk about the cutter that we have. I love this cutter. I even broke the handle on it, and after using it for about 2 years, the handle broke off and I still use it. I just use it as a regular lever without the handle, but it's from Amazon Basics. And again, I'll have it linked down below. This happens to be my favorite cutter. I have some more high-end cutters. I have some smaller cutters, larger ones, heavy duty ones that'll cut up to 500 sheets at a time. But this one happens to be my absolute favorite cutter, and it's so basic, but it works so well. So you'll always see me in tutorials head back to this one. I need to purchase another one soon, but you'll definitely need the cutter. You'll need a piece of vinyl and, of course, a mat for you to cut the vinyl. I'm going to be using this holographic blue because that's what all of mine are already cut in, all of my cash envelopes. So we're going to use this little small piece. Also, you need some type of scraper tool in order to apply at the end, and a weeding tool. I'm using this type of pick, but I've used all the different weeding tools. It doesn't matter, but you need some type of weeding tool. And then finally, you need laminate. Now for laminate, this is where it's really important. This is a shiny piece of laminate and you can see the reflection. And then this is a matte, okay? So we need the matte on the outside, but what I found is being cost effective, you don't have to have the matte on the inside. So I do have some 3mm matte. This is 5mm matte, right? I have 3mm matte as well, but instead of using 3mm matte, what I do is use a 3mm regular sheet because it's much less expensive, and I'll use that for the inside of the envelope, but for the outside we do have to use the more it's a little bit more expensive 5mm matte to make them nice and strong and sturdy. Okay, so I'm going to use one 3mm shiny laminate and one 5mm matte. All right, I'm going to put all of the things that are needed for the actual weeding part and the vinyl part to the side, and we'll discuss that in a little bit, but let's go ahead and talk about making the envelope and making that through the laminator while it's all hot and ready. What I love about making these envelopes is that all you're going to do is cut a piece of laminate that's to size for an A7 wallet, turn it inside out and stick it inside of the 5mm. That's the steps that we're going to be doing. So first we're going to take the 3mm shiny laminate, and I'm going to take it to let me see if this is 3.5. This is 3.3.25. 3.25 and cut it there. And next we're going to go this way, and if this is 4.5, this is 4.75. We're going to cut it there. And this is going to be our envelope, and that's all we'll need of this whole sheet. If I were making multiple envelopes, I would cut it first long ways, and you can get one envelope off of that, and then you can get 3 more going this way. So first you would cut it long ways like this. 3.25. And cut it this way, 4.75. That's 2. And I didn't cut it properly in the beginning, but you could get 5 envelopes this way. You go again here, and you go again here. Now I only got 4 because again, I didn't cut it properly from the beginning, but this is exactly how you would do it. So you can get 5 envelopes off one sheet of paper. These are the envelopes, okay? So what I'm gonna do is just take one of these squares or rectangles, and I'm gonna sit the cutter to the side for right now, and in comes the matte laminate. Now, what you can do is literally just separate these. Don't separate them all the way, and just turn it inside out. And there it is, okay? It's one piece. If you pull it apart, you got to line them back up. But if you separate them that way, you don't have to. When I laminate them inside of the matte laminate, I like to set them 4 to a page. So I'll put one here. I'm going to go ahead and make 4 just because I have it. I don't think I'll need it though. Maybe I'll gift 3 away. 2. What's important when you're actually laying them down is you leave some border here. So you'll have some lip on the side of the envelopes. Also that you leave border at the bottom of this one because that's where the hole punch space will be. And then leave some space at the bottom of this one. That's where the other hole punch space will be. So that's 2. Separate and turn inside out. And again, you want some space to be in between here, some for the side of this envelope, some for the side of that envelope. So you're going to scoot it over. And let's go ahead and do this last one. Like that. So here's all 4 inside of the 5mm laminate, and now we're just going to put them into the laminator machine and let it do its work. And we're going to cut down these envelopes. I like to cut them up the middle first. Let me scoot the plant back. I like to cut them up the middle first, and remember, some space has to go on this envelope and some has to go on this one. So you don't want to cut too close to this edge. You want to be in the middle of the 2. And we will work with these 2. So these are 2 envelopes here. And this one got crinkled coming out of the laminator, so I'm just going to put it back in. All right, it's nice and flat. All right, so what we're going to do is first open up the envelope here at the top. And to do that, let me scoot this down. To do that, I'm lining up the edge of my cutter, which is this silver part here, with the top of the envelope, and I'm going to go in just a little bit more until the bottom reaches 3.1. So the bottom of this envelope reaches 3.1, something along like that, and cut. And we're going to do the same thing for this one. We're measuring at 3. Well, this is 2.5. What's the first notch beyond the 3? Y'all let me know what it is, okay? Because the way my measurements is set up. All right. So there's that. And now you'll see you have an envelope that opens. All right. And it opens like this. And this is your, and it opens like this. And this is your cash envelope here. And now we just need to clean up all the sides. So let's open up this one. All right. And there's the second pocket. And so we're all done with that. I like to run them back through because if you look at the edge of this, and I don't know if you can see it, but it has an air gap around the side. So after I cut, I like to run it back through. Now this is where this particular cutter helps me. I line this bar up with the edge of the envelope. So I'll line it up here like this. Can you see it? Like that. And it has a tiny bit of hang, and I cut it off. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, line it up with the bar and cut it off. Now, how much is that lip? Probably about 1/4 inch on both sides. On the bottom, I measure the top of the envelope at 3.5 and cut. And it looks like this. And now I run it back through. So I want you to see kind of, let me see if I can get you to see. I want you to see how it doesn't look finished at the bottom, and it's difficult to see here, but it doesn't look finished at the bottom, and it's because it needs to run through one more time. So I literally just put it back in the laminator while I'm cutting the next one. I line it up with the bar, line it up with the bar. And for you, if you need specific measurements, you probably can do 1/4 inch on each side as the lip, just to make sure not to cut inside the air bubble. And then it goes back through. And it comes out looking like this. Now this, you don't have to, but it's optional for you to round the corners. I like to. This is my favorite corner rounder, Katamuro Pro. I've had this, if you've been here on any of my tutorials, I've had it for well over a year, and it is my absolute favorite cutter. I love it. It never breaks. It's giving me like good runs. I always cut on the large. It has a large, medium, and small setting. I always cut on the large. So the corners will be really rounded, not just slightly. And it looks like this. These are the 2 cash envelopes that are already ready to go. Okay. Now all we need to do is create the vinyl labels to go on top. So let's go ahead and get off into that. All right, to get started, I'm going to open Cricut Design Space. This is something that you can totally do within Canva, and then, import your whatever design you want on your envelopes into Cricut Design Space. But I'm just going to use Cricut Design Space because they have some fonts that I actually don't mind at all. All right, I'm going to go to this template here, which is what I used in order to make my first set of cash envelopes with the clear, and I used double font. So I put this cursive on top of this one. But for the new envelopes that I have, they only have the basic font. And I'm going to show you a tip and a trick that you can use in order to just cut one word out of several words that you have within your canvas on Cricut Design Space. So I need this one that says Weekend Fund. For some reason, I don't have that. I have all these other ones in my old envelopes, but I don't have this one, Weekend Fund, for the new. This font, first of all, is called BFC Aloma Island. This is going to be really important. If you want this particular font, then you need to look for this one, BFC Aloma Island. All right. One tip that I found with Cricut, and I didn't know this for a long time, is I don't have to retype a word. But let's say you're starting from a blank canvas. You would basically go over here to text, and you would add it onto the screen. I'm going to move it over here so you can see, and we'll make it bigger. And you would just double click in order to type what you need. So we would say Weekend Fund. Let's just say Weekend. And then we would go up here to the font style and we'll look for that BFC Aloma. It's going to be in my recents. It should be because I have used it. So there it is. And it will change the font. And there is the word with the font. If I don't want Cricut to cut everything on this screen, I can tell it specific colors, right? Right now it thinks that everything I'm going to cut is black. So it's going to queue up everything to be cut at one time. I'm going to delete this weekend word. And this is the template that I've been using in order to make envelopes. I literally need this word right here, just weekend fun. So I'm going to go up here to basic cut and change the color to the first color I see, which just happens to be pink. And now it thinks, oh, you want all of this cut in black and you want this piece cut in a different color vinyl, and it'll queue up 2 different cuts, which you'll see in just a minute. So let's go ahead and push make from here. Since I didn't organize that first mat with all the different colors, all the black letters, it has it cut here for 1. Cut number 2 would be all of the cursive words in black, but I don't need that. I literally just need cut 3, which says weekend fun. This is the only one I need. And that's only because I'm only making 1 envelope. So that's how you can isolate 1 word out of the whole template if you want to do that. And so that's weekend fun. Now I'm going to hit continue. And we're going to head over to the Cricut with my piece of vinyl. Now the piece of vinyl I have is rather thin. And so I'm going to cut it on Vinyl Plus. Okay. It's not really a heavy vinyl, but I do want to make sure it cuts all the way through, especially with my needle being dull from so many cuts I've made. I'm going to queue it up as Vinyl Plus. Right now it's set to cardstock, but I will be changing it when we get over to the machine. So let's head over and go ahead and cut the piece of vinyl. Okay, so I have my Cricut mat here, and then I have my 1 little piece of vinyl, and I'm going to put it up here in the top corner. And you want to line it up with the lines that are here. I'm also going to use a little bit of tape just because my mat's not so sticky, but I do have a solution for that I'll be bringing in an upcoming video. But for right now, I'm just using little pieces of tape so I can hold down the vinyl and it doesn't raise up. And that's a trick you can use. As long as if you're printing and cut and you have guidelines, don't go over the guidelines with the tape. But other than that, you can go ahead and tape it down. And now we're going to go ahead and feed it in. So I like to hold the mat flush up against the rollers and then push the insert button. And once that happens, I'll start to cut. Okay, I realized that I forgot to change the settings on the actual cut, right? So it's still set to cardboard and therefore it started cutting it way too deep. So I pushed the pause button, which is here, in order to pause the cut. And now I'm going to hit eject. And the cut is much too deep, as you can see here. So I'm going to take it off and turn it around. Mistakes happen. And you guys are seeing it live. I'm just taping it down upside down. Now I'm going to remember to turn my cut settings back up to Vinyl Plus. And now that it's on Vinyl Plus, I'm going to use that same thing that I was saying, which is put the mat in, feed it in. It's just upside down and it won't cut as deep. And then cut. All right, it's all done cutting, and because it thinks I have more cuts to do with the black ink, it's telling me to unload the mat, and I'm gonna take it off. We're not gonna load again, so I'm gonna cancel the job on the computer, and now we have our weekend fun here. Let's finish it up. All right, I'm gonna bring back my cutter just because I don't feel like bringing out a pair of scissors, and I'm gonna cut off all of this except the piece that we need. As you see, you can use it for another label later. This is the only one that we need that says Weekend Fun. And this one is actually enough space to make one more label here. So I'm gonna save this, but I'll first cut off what it messed up. So there's enough for another label if I needed one for future. All right, so I'm gonna set the extra vinyl to the side and we're gonna weed out what we just created. This is where the weeding tool comes into place, and we're just going to literally pick up the corner like this and pull back. Sometimes I feel like some of the letters stick, and I take this edge and roll it on here so it'll stick down like that. The K is really doing it. And this is where my cut settings might not have been perfect, but you know what? Luckily, it's just one envelope with my dull blade, which might be half the problem. I need to replace my blade. I might do a video showing you guys how to replace it. Let me know if that's something that would interest you. All right, so there's the letters that we needed. Weekend Fun. And then all the scrap. I like to hold this with the sticky part and just take out any weeding in the middle. So we're going to take out the middle of this D. Wait, hold on. Someone said use the tweezers, and I have, but I don't feel like getting them out right now. Okay, so that's the Weekend Fun all there. And now we need a piece of transfer tape. That's what I didn't talk about before. I get a huge roll of transfer tape, and it looks like this, and it's in a humongous roll that I've had for a couple of years now, and I never, ever use it all. But you cover the transfer tape, cover the letters with the transfer tape, and I'm going to use a scraper tool just to make sure they come up. We need our envelope, and we're just going to take it off. Sometimes they stick, and I just keep going until I get it off. Like so. This transfer tape I hang off the side of my desk, and so I use it if I need to. And now we're just going to center it and lay it down. And pull it off. The transfer tape you can use again and again. So I literally just close it up, and I leave the tiniest little bit out, and I hang it from my desk. And that is our envelope. That's going to go inside of our cash wallet. Before we do, we need to hole punch it so it'll fit. If you've been here for some time, you know that I also love this particular hole puncher, and it is linked down below. I will have different settings that I use for A6 envelopes. I put it to personal desk size, but whenever I'm doing A7 envelopes, I put it to pocket mini, which squeezes both of these completely in like this. And then it has this guide for you to hole punch it. So I slide it in. Sometimes I look from the back just to make sure it's even, and then hole punch. And that is it. We have just made ourselves a Weekend Fun. Thank you, Lord, because every time I go out for Weekend Fun and I don't have an envelope, it fits in there like that. That's the one we just made, and here's all the others. Beautiful. These are some really, every time I open my wallet, I smile. I used to with the clear ones until I spilled some coffee on them. I had these other ones that were clear. I spilled coffee and it caused all these problems, but these matte, they just are so beautiful. And every time I see them, I smile. So you can put any color vinyl you want. You can put other type of decorations on them. But the base of making the matte vellum A7 envelope, I just taught you the tutorial on that. Those are simple. From here, what you lay on top of it is up to you, really. You could also lay the vinyl before, like onto the laminate, onto the shiny laminate, before you actually laminate it inside the 5mm, and therefore your vinyl would be captured inside. I like mine on the outside because I like it to be reflective and shiny like this without air bubbles. So I like it sitting on top, but you know, it's your world. I'm just a squirrel. So you do whatever you like. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how to make A7 cash envelopes that are matte in design with vinyl on top. Super simple, not difficult at all, and anyone can do it. Like I said, this is a product that I think would sell wonderfully. So a lot of my tutorials, I don't mind if you guys take the ideas and run with it. I'm not going to be selling them because I don't like weeding vinyl that much. So yeah, it's not going to be me, but someone else could make these and sell them, and I think they would be a hit. People ask me all the time, where do I get my wallet? Where do I get my cash envelopes? And now your questions have been answered. If you love this tutorial, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, because I will be putting out more tutorials. It seems like you guys really enjoy these, and I want to get you know, more information out to you so you can start your own little side businesses. Also, don't forget to like this video because it helps it to be suggested to other people who might be looking for this type of information, whether it's to make envelopes for themselves or to sell. And finally, share this video with someone if you think they would enjoy just a crafty tutorial that they can then use to make their own cash envelopes and purchase their own wallet. All right, I think that is everything for today. I appreciate you guys for being here. Oh, wait. I forgot. I got to do the Budgeting Besties bingo. Hold the line. Let me get that together. Okay, I'm doing a voiceover because I definitely messed up on a piece of footage from this video, but that's okay. We're going to shuffle, and then we'll shuffle once more for good luck, and we'll go ahead and spin the wheel and see what our Budgeting Besties bingo number pull is for today's video. And it is red 5, which is B5. I did color it in and marked it on my tracker that it needs to be saved, but I can't find the footage. So I will see you guys in next video. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and like this video. Comment this one single emoji that you see on the screen if you made it all the way to the end. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.